YouTube, my name's Cricky, welcome back to the channel. I've been playing, I've been hooning, which is all quite good. My chicken strips is definitely getting less. I'm getting the tyre scrubbed in. I'll probably put, I don't know, 75, 80 odd miles on it now, I suppose, something like that. I've only had one day where it's been dry, the rest of the time it's been wet, so it's taking a little bit longer than I was hoping, but we is getting there. I'm trying to start getting some footage with guys. I'm trying to figure out where to stick the bloody things. I've got this, well, it's all sorts of linkages stuck on my lid. You know, it does look a bit stupid, it has to be said. I'm not sure if it's working, I need to look at the footage. And also, you know, where I'm going to stick stuff on the bike so you get a decent view, but it's, you know, it's not in the way for me and all that sort of stuff. So I'm trying to figure all that stuff out. So stuff is going to change as far as on board goes. We will be going out and we'll have a proper hoon. Might do the coast road or something. I don't know. Well, actually, I could go and see Steve and get those sprockets. I might do that actually. But the bike is behaving itself on the whole. There are some little niggles and stuff. We'll go through those in a sec. Yeah, I just want to try and be as honest as possible. I mean, you know, it looks the part. It don't look too shabby at all. But I want to make sure that I address all the little things that are coming up. At the end of the day, the bike came in a box. It's all been put together, you know, reasonably carefully, it has to be said, but there are niggles and bits I'm not happy with and they need to be sorted. This is the first bit, look. I've had my stuff turn up. Where are you? So this is a bag full of those little clippy jobbies that I was talking about. So these basically clip on around the fairing. Yeah, around the fairing panel, and then that way you can shove a screw all the way through it. At the minute, I'm just concentrating on the easy to fix stuff. Fairing is one of them, because although the fairing is fixed to the bike and it's not going to fall off, it does rattle a bit, and that's doing my head in. It shouldn't rattle. So not all the fixings are in. They don't all have one of these in place, that's probably why. But it does rattle and I don't like it. So that's the first thing. There is, I've got to finish off doing the cargo hooks. I've just got to shove some holes in and counterbore it, but that way all the fixings is on the back. And there's the minute where the fairing bolts into the frame on the side, it's just got a big old repair washer. So I'm going to get some measurements. I'll just turn up some top hat type jobbies and we can fix that down properly as well so it don't rattle. So that's going to be step one. And whilst we're doing that, I'll tell you about the rest of it as well, eh? Right. Right, so I've got the grab rail off the back. He's now sitting over there. He's been cleaned down with brake cleaner and squirted with Hammerite. So he's going black. I'll let that one dry. He's going to have another coat, I think. And if I have to run the bike today without a grab rail, then so be it. I don't really care. It's all fine. I have got to go to work later on. It is going to be raining. But the bike sort of goes undercover when it gets to work anyway. And he's undercover overnight at my gaff. So that's all fine. If I just need to wait till tomorrow before I put it back on again, then happy days, I don't really care. I just want to sort out these fixings. I would love to sort out that run, but I ain't doing it yet. So this one is the top hat that I need to make, and there's the grommet is just oversized and everything else as well. So we'll see if we can't get this lot sorted, because it's not as it should be, like at all. Well, it sort of worked. Right, let's have a look and see what grommets I've got. Right then, so all my fixings is in, that's all good, it shouldn't rattle about or anything else as much. All the holes have got something in. The ones down the side here, I did have to drill out and tap to an M8. It was an M6, but the thread was just mullered. So both, and that was on both sides. Thing is, the frame isn't really that thick, so you don't get that many threads in there, and it's an alley frame, you know, stainless or whatever bolt or steel bolt. It don't take a lot to over tighten it and just strip the threads out. I could have done like a riv nut, but I've just drilled and tapped it to M8. If that doesn't hold, then I will put a riv nut in, because I know that'll be fine. It's just I'd prefer not to do that if I can. The only other issue I've got is down the front here. I didn't realise that wasn't secured, which it ain't, and that is a bit of a problem. I haven't got the bodywork that goes on the inside here to create that return edge, and there would have been like a triangular bit that sits in there that this would all bolt to. So basically I'm going to have to make something, but it's going to have to wait because I need to chip off to me work. So for now, it is a bodge. I know it's a bodge, but for now I'm just going to have to cable tie it so it don't rattle about anywhere. The fairing's not going anywhere, it's fixed all over the place, apart from down there, and it does need to be fixed. The other thing is at the back, again, there isn't a support bracket for it, so I'm probably gonna, I was looking at this, and I'm probably gonna get, I've got some alley over there, so what I might do is just machine up a piece of alley that fits nice and neatly in there, drill and tap the ends, and just wind a screw in from the outside. And if I did that front and rear, it would just keep it all sturdy. That's a steel one, it's the wrong length, and it's like zinc coated and the coating's coming off, blur. But it's enough to give you an idea, eh? So just a piece, I'll take some measurements, just an alley bar with a shoulder to it, just drill and tap it, that'll be fine. So for now, this is just gonna have to do, I'm afraid. It's just I don't want stuff rattling about whilst I'm riding it, basically. So dodgy as hell, I know. I should just get on and get it done, but I ain't got time. Right, have you got charge? Yes! Awesome! I need to sort something out here. That's the convoluted way I've got of doing it at the minute, just so I can get an angle where I'm, where are you? Just so I can get an angle where I'm looking in front. My lid, it's a Shui NXR, but it's got like a proper ridgy thing going, so I have to stick the mount on the side. It's just a rubbish way of doing it. I need to have a Google and see if they do a pad to fit that, or have a go at making something. You're the wrong way around as well. What else is I going to say? Yeah, that's pretty much all I've got time to do today. I will be back in tomorrow because I want to get that front of the fairing all sort of buttoned up properly, and also sort out my cargo hooks. Just, they're the only two fixings that's really missing. But yeah, I can get that sorted, and I'm pretty sure I know what I'm going to do with the back of the fairing as well, just to keep it sort of where I leave it, basically. Oh, that little hole, I'll get a picture and stick it up. There's a cover that's missing. Well, there's a few bits that's missing, to be fair. But that cover that's missing is a discontinued thing. Fowlers don't do it, yada, yada, yada. But somebody, it's either Jan or Yan, I'm not sure, I do apologise, but they're from JP Motorcycles in Callington, which ain't actually that far away from here, and he's got loads of old obsolete stock and stuff, and he's got one, so he's sending it over to me, which is mint. Saves me making something out of alley, and you know, it's the original panel, I know it's going to fit, so that'll all be good. But thank you ever so much. I don't know if it's Jan or Yan, it's Jan. But thank you ever so much. I really do appreciate that. That's going to save me a little bit of time. I've got plans for this, which we are going to cover, and I know I've said that, but ideas is forming. Ideas is definitely forming. The clutch was a little bit funny yesterday. It was all fine during the day, and I rode it to work and everything. Came out at the end of the day and went and jumped on it, and it was all the way back to the lever, but it wasn't fully disengaging the clutch, And it was like that on the way home, so I sort of nursed it and was doing clutchless shifts and blipping the throttle and all that. Got on it this morning, it's absolutely fine. So I don't know if there is a bit of air in there that was causing the issue, and me keep using it has forced the air out and up to the top, and it's just filled itself back up from the reservoir. I don't really know, but it seems to be okay at the minute. There's no leaks. I was going to bleed it again, but it's absolutely fine, so I'm hoping it's cleared itself. Don't know, we'll have to see. And then there's fifth gear. Fifth gear. Right. Oh, this could all end in tears. Really could. Like I say, I'm trying to be completely transparent about all this. So if there is a problem, you are going to get to know about it. And this fifth gear one could be a biggie. So, well, where do you start? I've checked all the obvious stuff from the outside. It's nothing to do with that. All the linkage is fine. That there's nothing's loose. It's not adjusted stupid. Nothing's clouting anything else. All that sort of stuff. The problem is definitely inside. So I was chatting with Andy and Matt, and they've given me a couple of pointers and stuff. Matt was saying that as far as stuff jumping out of gears, there's all sorts of stuff that could cause it. It could be a bent selector fork, it could be like a mullered ramp on the selector drum, it could be, dogs worn to hell on the gears, it could be anything basically. Stupidly enough, when I had all the sump on, I didn't even think to look up underneath, because I'm pretty sure I'll be able to spot the gearbox and see what's going on. So, I've got about 400 miles left to do before I have to dump all the oil and do an oil change. So and I was also chatting with Jack and Si next door. They're building something very cool out there, which I'm hoping one day I'll be able to show you. But anyway, I was chatting with them, and they've actually got an endoscope with a screen on it. I do have one that used to be able to plug into my phone, but I've changed my phone and the connector's different. Don't work anymore. But they've got an endoscope. So what I'm thinking about doing is, I'm just, at the minute, being completely honest, I'm just avoiding fifth gear. I'm confident that there is nothing just floating about in there, which is cool. But when it gets to dumping the oil out of it, we're going to have the fairings off the bottom, move everything out of the way. I'm going to take the sump off and see if I can't see the gearbox from like underneath it basically. The idea then would just be to put it in second gear or something like that, and just use this endoscope up underneath it, and with the bike in gear, just turn the engine over by hand basically. I could do it. Yeah, I could just turn the back wheel basically. But that way I should be able to see what the selector forks is up to, and I should be able to see all the teeth on all the gears and see if there's any damage there. As far as the dogs go, I've got no idea how much I'm going to be able to see of any of this, but that to me seems like a sensible way of doing it. Reason being is, if I can spot the problem, then I'll know, should I really be riding it, which at the minute I probably shouldn't be, but I am, because the van's off the road. But if I can nail down what the problem is, then I can also go, right, how do I fix it? This is what's got to happen. I've got a horrible feeling the engine needs to come out to get it done, depending on what it is. But I'm pretty sure that's what's what. So that's going to happen at some point. I've also got a set of paddock stands coming, so it's like the up under the yoke ones, and the rear one I can either have it as bobbins or platforms. It's just I don't want the bike falling off the bench again, because that stung quite a lot. I'm still aching. But once we've got all the paddock stands, then I'll be in a position to lift the bike up, lift the whole thing up so I can see what's going on and have a look-see. It is a worry, but, you know, it is what it is. I haven't got any choice in it, basically, at the minute. I am loving riding it. But anyway, time is now 12:30 on Tuesday, so I need to chip off and go to my work, but I'll be back. Right, so that's another little job done. Like I say, these paddock stands is just a personal choice, but I find a combination of that one and that one, you know, where you can do the bobbins or under the swing arm and you can also lift it from under the yokes, tends to, for me, be the best. We are going to be going to a racetrack, we are going to be using tyre warmers and all that sort of stuff once we get ASBO sorted. Still got the S-Rad, we've got plans and stuff for that. So, you know, they're going to get used on track days and stuff as well as in the workshop, but it does mean that the bike ain't going to fall over again. I really never want to do that again. That stung. So, yeah, we're just going through and we're just ticking off the little jobs and stuff. So I've got some measurements. So I need to make up that little spacer support jobby thing for the front, where the fairing comes together, because at the minute it's just zip tied. At the back there's a couple of points I could run a bracket off where the centre stand used to be. So I might do that, because then at least it ties it into the frame and it's not going to wobble. Whereas if I just tie the two things together, potentially it could wobble. I don't know. I'll have to have a play. The clutch, I was going to bleed up again today, just because something in my head is saying, go on, bleed the clutch. It works. It was all fine and everything yesterday. But I did have that one time where it went all the way back to the bar, and it seems to have corrected itself. But I don't like things that just fix themselves. I need to know what was wrong with it, and know what I did to fix it, and know it's working now. So I probably am going to bleed the clutch, but time is getting on. I've got about half hour left. And there is something else I need to make, because that turned up a while ago and I've been putting it off. Right. Oh, it's big, isn't it? Yes, your eyes are not deceiving you. Basically, to start doing stuff. I'm now in the model shop. So, and I've been for a while. So, like, we're making the prototypes and all that sort of, you know, tooling and jigs and whatever. So I'm not working the line as a welder anymore, so I'm not picking up heavy stuff all day and humping it about. And it is starting to show. I've got some dumbbells and barbells, so basically I've come up with a rule where, and I came up with a rule quite a long time ago, it's just I ain't done it. But basically, every day I'm in here, for the first half hour, stuff to put this down, and this is just going to help. Even if it don't see that much use, I've got, and it's probably strong enough to take a Steve-O if he ever shows up. So that's what I'm doing. But, you know, like, my chest is down here now and I want to put it back. So that's what I'm doing. The other reason for doing it is we're on holiday. Middle of July, can't remember the exact date, middle of July anyway, we're going on holiday to Turkey because it's Jake's birthday and it's his favourite place on the planet. So we're having a family holiday out there. Jazz is coming with us as well, which will be sweet. She has never been abroad before. So we're quite looking forward to that because, you know, we've been abroad quite a bit and it's all dead exciting the first time you go, but once you've been a few times, you can't really relive it. So it's going to be interesting to see what she's like. She's all healed up really well. Thank you for all the goodwill messages and stuff. That was really cool. But yeah, she's all healed up good and stuff. So, you know, it is what it is. But the Paddock stands is going to come in dead handy. I mean, the bike is getting there. You know, it's MOT and legal and all the rest of it, but there was stuff wrong with it, and that's something you have to bear in mind. Even though it's street legal, there are still problems with it. So, because the whole thing came in boxes and it's never been ridden until we went to MOT, you know, that's the first time we discovered the problem with fifth gear. You know, it's the first time I've found out everything rattles because all the fixings and stuff weren't in right, and, you know, just bits and pieces like that basically. So even though you've built the bike up and it's street legal and can you ride it, there is still quite a lot of fettling to do. And it is now raining. As soon as I get a bike and as soon as I finish filming, it starts raining. What's that about? But yeah, we still have a few bits and pieces to sort out. Stand to come in handy. One of the issues I've got is the adjusters on the front. I did do a setup in the other video that hopefully you've seen, and the bike is way better to ride than it was. You know, it's turning in better and it's holding a better line. It's not cock on or anything else, but it is definitely better, but it could be better still. So we need to get the adjusters sorted on the forks and do, you know, just keep monkeying about with the setup. So I've been chatting with Simon Rolls, who is dead good with suspension and stuff. Now I've got the paddock stands, we can lift the bugger up. We can have the forks out if we need to, which is part of the reason for going that style of paddock stand. And we can, he thinks he knows what the problem is with the adjusters, so we can get that sorted, get it all working as it should be, and then we can carry on with the setup. I'm hoping it's going to be dry tomorrow, so we can go out for a hoon, or I don't know, maybe we do it at the weekend or something like that. But if all the components is working as they should be, we should be able to dial it in and get it closer to where I want it. Tyres is getting scrubbed in nice. We're over a little bit more. I've probably got, I don't know, about 1 inch of chicken strip on the back. I don't really care if it gets to the edge of the tyre. I don't give a monkeys. I just want the bike to turn in nice and hold a line under power and under braking and all that sort of stuff. So that's what I'm aiming for. But there you go. But things like the pads, they were bought with funds from the patrons. So, you know, you'll know what Patreon is. But anything I get out of the patrons, who are just legends in my book, because their contribution goes a massive way to keeping this channel going. It really, really does. But anything I get out of the patrons, or out of YouTube in general, goes back into the shop. So the pack stands was bought with that money. It wasn't. Bought with my own money. Because this is just me goofing about. It's nothing to do with this channel at all. But their contributions have gone for that. And it's dead handy stuff. You know, I'm not going to be so worried about a bike falling over when I've got it on the lift and it's all, you know, it'll be properly stood up and supported and, you know, all that sort of stuff. It ain't going to go anywhere. But we can also use it for things like doing the setup and blah. So, you know, if you are a patron and your names appear on every single video, thank you so much for sticking with us. It makes a huge difference. I can't tell you what the difference is. That, you know, I couldn't afford to buy, you know, stuff like this on a semi-regular, but just because I ain't got the funds. So anything we get is really gratefully received. And I can promise you that every single penny goes back into the shop so I can do more stuff or do something I haven't done before, that sort of thing. So that's where they came from, just so you know. Anyway, that's it. I've rabbited on for long enough. That's where I'm going to leave it for this one. Thank you ever so much for watching. Do hope you're well and staying safe. We'll see you on the next one. Laters!